Thought 10, Reclaiming the Child That Was Lost, a journey from external pursuit to inner awakening. In the tranquil cocoon of infancy, each one of us was a beacon of pure joy. There wasn't transient excitement that flutters and fades. It was a profound, innate contentment. Our infant cries were not expressions of unhappiness, but simply basic communication, hunger, the need for comfort. Our laughter, pure and uninhibited, was a natural response to the simplest of stimuli. This was our true state, a state of inherent happiness. As we embarked on life's journey, the landscape of our happiness began to shift. We learned to associate joy with conditions and events. The toys we received, the approval we sought, the grades we achieved. Slowly, our happiness became contingent upon these external factors. The world around us is incessant in its narrative that it holds the key to our happiness. It bombards us with messages. Buy this, attend that, believe in this, and you'll find joy. This relentless marketing of happiness often leaves us feeling more lost, chasing an elusive state that always seems just out of reach. What if this constant pursuit is nothing but a distraction, a way for external forces to exert control over our inner peace? Could it be that in our quest for happiness, we have been led astray, burdened by the very things we were told would liberate us? I recall a pivotal moment in my life when I recognized that my baseline state of being, one of sadness, depression, and frustration, was not a natural condition but a learned one. It was a sobering realization that my quest for happiness was often a search for perfect external alignment, a constellation of conditions that seldom occurred. This led me to ponder a crucial question. Whose life was I living? The values, beliefs, and aspirations I held, were they genuinely mine or were they inherited from the influential figures in my life? Parents, friends, teachers, each had unknowingly gifted me their perceptions, their blueprints for happiness. This introspection brought me to a fundamental inquiry. Did I truly aspire to the lives of those who had shaped my beliefs? Were these individuals themselves embodiments of the joy and fulfillment they preached? Often I found that the answer was no. This was a profound realization for me, that much of what I had accepted as the path to happiness was not my path at all. It became evident that to rediscover my true self, I needed to let go of these inherited beliefs. It was time to shed the layers of external expectations and societal norms that had obscured my inner joy. The act of letting go is not a passive resignation, but an act of liberation. It involves consciously releasing the beliefs, expectations, and patterns that no longer serve our true selves. This is not an overnight transformation, but a gradual process of unlearning, a journey back to our inner state of happiness. The journey to rediscover involves reconnecting with our true nature. It requires us to pause, reflect, and ask ourselves what brings us genuine joy. This joy is not dependent on external validation or material possessions, but is a state of being that resonates with our deepest self. This process also involves embracing our vulnerabilities and imperfections. True happiness is not the absence of sadness or struggle. It is the ability to find peace and joy amidst life's inherent challenges. An integral part of this journey is the practice of mindfulness and gratitude. By being present in the moment and appreciative of the simple joys of life, we can start to peel back the layers of conditioned happiness. This allows us to experience joy in its purest form, unadulterated by external influences. As we journey through the process, we come to realize that happiness was never something to be sought in the external world. It has always been within us, waiting to be rediscovered and embraced. This journey from slumber to awakening is not just about finding happiness, but also returning to our original state of inner joy, a state that is our brightest and our truest nature. Before I was enlightened, I was depressed. Now that I am enlightened, I am still depressed. And to anyone who is following me on Patreon, the next part is for you. If you're seeing this on TikTok, make sure to go to the link in my bio, because then you can hear my additional thoughts. But for now, to those who are not there, peace. And to those that are here on the Patreon, I'm so thankful for you and grateful for you. I just hope you know that from the bottom of my heart, you giving has helped me be able to continue working on my project and my process. So if you could share this out to people you think would love this content, that would make me even happier than I already am. But let's jump into it. This chapter is very near and dear to my heart. In fact, the picture that I used really speaks to just what I was feeling in the moment. You know, as a child, you do have base level emotions, and it's actually shown that we're just reflecting things. Like we're not necessarily feeling complex emotions as kids. We're more feeling things in each moment. And then as we get older, after 7 months, we start to feel these complex emotions like sadness and frustration and anger. And I think in a lot of ways, it's a mirroring of those around us. And, as you get older, you're taught to use your words. You're taught to explain what it is that you're feeling. But what are we feeling other than what people have taught us that we're feeling? Every culture is different. It's been shown that people don't necessarily feel the same emotions or even emote in the same ways cross-culturally. So if, for instance, you're unhappy with the world that you live in now, how much of that isn't you, but is the gifts that were given to you by others? And to dive even deeper into that idea, the teachers, the coaches, the parents, the people who maybe taught you to be a certain way, are they living a life that you hope to live? Do they seem excited in the journey that they've chosen and the ideas that they have? Because for me, most of the people that told me how to live were not even happy with their own life. And I really feel like they were trying to confirm that it was okay to make the decisions they made because look at how other people are living. Once you really do become connected to who you really are, it's very hard to judge other people because you love where you are. But I think when you don't love where you are and when you are not 100% sure of what it is that you're doing or why you're doing it, you work to actually see a confirmation bias in others. So you look to find your group, your people who will say, hey, we made the right choice to live this life. We did what we were supposed to do. And then you look to others who aren't living that life and you look for them to argue to make a point of emphasis that they're not happy with theirs. See, it's true. I couldn't be happy unless I lived my life this way. This is the best I ever had. But when you're really open and transparent and vulnerable and willing to be honest with yourself about the life that you've chosen, whether that be because of what other people taught you, whatever the case is, then you have the ability to be free. Free of those preconceived notions that you created, free from the idea that I have to be happy all the time, free from the attachments and the expectations that you've set on life. And I just ask you, think back to that kid that was just trying to figure out what's the right way to live and how to do the right things, and maybe started to look for the validation in the people around them more than feeling like they were actually happy with the life they chose. Life is both simple and complicated at the same time. I find myself constantly asking, like, who am I really? Am I the version of me when I'm out with friends? Am I the version of me when I'm with my parents? Am I the version of me in love? Am I the version of me that's at the job? And the truth is I don't think we're any of those things. We're transient. Human beings are constantly changing. Our cells are constantly regenerating. Our thoughts are constantly updating. We're adding new words, forgetting things, becoming something more in each moment. But who we are really is something that maybe is beyond just the person, maybe beyond the entity that we like to call Django or Tyler or Kyle or Susie or whatever the name might be. Maybe that's just the experience. And we are putting too much on the experience, fighting too hard to name the experience, to say that it has to be a certain way. But think back, as a kid, try to remember those moments where maybe you ended up having to trade who you really were to find the love that you hope to have. And see if you're willing to maybe give up that validation for freedom. I'm going to try to do these more often. I'm really sorry. I was traveling a bunch. I'm going to make sure to make, again, 2 or 3 videos a week. Look out for one tomorrow. I love you all so much. I'm so thankful for you, my Patreon family. I look forward to getting this book out to you guys March 1st. You'll be the first ones to get it. Signed copies. I'm so excited. I'm thankful for you. You are amazing, immaculate, fabulous, fantastic, sensational, divine, tantalizing, and perfect. And if no one else will tell you they love you, just know I do. And I hope that you do too. Thank you all so much for being here, a part of our thoughts. And until next time.